Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. Ever since there was an exchange of word in respect to oil producing communities in the Niger Delta between Edwin Clark, who is an elder state person in Niger Delta, and the former president of the country, reactions have been coming from all angles. And unfortunately, these reactions are not coming one-sided. Some are coming for Obasanjo and while are against him. We are going to be looking at what some of these key stakeholders or key socio-political groups have to say about the statement of constitutionality of the oil resources in Nigeria, and also the viewpoint of the areas that are manufacturing this oil. But before we give you full details of it and the viewpoints from different groups, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you get notification anytime we publish our videos. The Northern Socio-Political Organization, Arewa Consultative Forum, has disagreed with the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, the Ijaw National Congress, and some civil rights groups over the ownership of crude oil in the Niger Delta. The ACF spokesman Emmanuel Yahweh, in an interview with Punch on Wednesday, supported the position of former President Olusegun Obasanjo that the crude oil in the Niger Delta belongs to the federal government, not people in the region. But PANDEV, the INC, and other groups that spoke to our correspondent faulted the former president and supported an elder statesman, Chief Edwin Clark, who lambasted Obasanjo over his position on the oil in the Niger Delta. Obasanjo had at a peace and security parley convened by the Global Peace Foundation and Vision Africa a few weeks ago attacked the National Secretary of INC, Ebikbamowi Wodu, over the later outburst. Wodu at the forum said that the Ijaw were being treated like second-class citizens in Nigeria despite producing the oil and gas resources that have sustained the country. Clark, in an open letter to the former president on December 22nd, took a swipe at Obasanjo, alleging that his hatred against the people of the oil-producing state in Nigeria was disappointing. But in an open letter to Clark released on Monday, the former president faulted the elder statesman's claim that he hated the people of Niger Delta due to resource control agitation. Those who reacted to the exchange of bricks bed between Obasanjo and Clark on Wednesday expressed divergent views. For example, PANDEV advised Obasanjo to stop being mischievous and insensitive to issues concerning the Niger Delta. It said it was worrisome that Obasanjo, who knows the difficult Niger Delta terrain and the effect of oil exploration on the environment there, would be playing the devil's advocate. The National Publicity Secretary of PANDEV, Ken Robinson, who said this during a telephone interview with one of our correspondents, stated that PANDEV is saying that former President Olusegun Obasanjo should stop being mischievous. The former president understands what we are talking about when we are talking about oil in the Niger Delta. He was here during the Civil War as a commandant and all of that. So he understands what we are talking about. Unfortunately, he continues to play the role of the devil's advocate. So former President Obasanjo should stop being mischievous, because that is what he is doing. He was talking about people being tribesmen and all that, and asking people to be statesmen. He himself needs to be a statesman because he is not. He knows what we are talking about the environmental degradation in the Niger Delta, the harsh living conditions due to oil exploration, and of course, the difficult terrain in the region. God has, in his wisdom and all-knowing status, blessed this region with these resources to ameliorate the sufferings of the people and the Nigerian state. And the Nigerian state has over the years continued to exploit and plunder these resources to the complete disregard of the people. What we are asking for is better attention to the oil and gas-bearing communities. That is what the people of the Niger Delta are asking for. Some of the problems we have in Nigeria today started during his presidency. So we will advise and urge former President Olusegun Obasanjo to stop being mischievous about the issues of Niger Delta and respect the feelings of the Niger Delta people. It is sad that he will be talking about constitution and provision in the flawed military imposed constitution because he is a chief beneficiary of that lopsided constitution, so he could afford to say that. If Ogun State is producing oil, would Obasanjo make the kind of insensitive comment he is making? Wow. And also ACF had also threw its weight behind Obasanjo, saying that oil and other mineral resources belong to Nigeria and not host community. The National Publicity Secretary of ACF, Emmanuel Yahweh, in a chat with one of our correspondents in Kaduna on Wednesday, said the matter was a purely constitutional one and that the northern body was in full support of the provision of the Constitution. According to him, oil and other mineral resources found in any community belongs to Nigeria, adding those against such should seek constitution amendment to the provision. The ACF spokesperson said that former President Olusegun Obasanjo's argument is based on the provision of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Many communities that have these minerals are against this provision. As long as this aspect of the Constitution remains the way it is, there is nothing that can be done. That is the law. The AGF believes in the rule of law. Those against this provision should seek a way of amending these aspects of the Constitution. Wow. Different folks, or different strokes for different folks. Different people are saying different things. Some people are throwing their weight behind what Obasanjo said, and others are saying no. But you know, it's good that we get a viewpoint on this, especially from the South and also from other other geopolitical zone. Now, first of all, we have to understand that the host community should be treated far better than the way they are treated. You can't be hosting a mineral resources that is taking care of the entirety of the country, giving us a face economically, and then those communities where these things are coming from, they are the ones suffering most in terms of infrastructure. Now, you take a walk down to Bayelsa State, take a walk down to River State, and some other states that are Niger Delta. You will be shocked at the level of development there. Some of the communities where these things are coming from, their development is nothing to write home about. For example, in River State right now, we know that so much money has been going to them, but there's a current situation that is so terrible, talking about suits, where these guys have black carbon monoxide particles everywhere in the state. Right now, people are crying. The question is, what is the federal government doing to stop this? Knowing that these people are the sources from which they are getting the huge internally generated revenue. The communities, in terms of provision of access road, in terms of provision of a lot of things, those things are not even there. And I think that's why they're crying for resource control. Just fairly recently, if you check our feed, you're going to see it, that they have gone an extra mile in bringing out their charter, which they want the country to think or to consider the issue of amendment of the Constitution or totally abolition, annihilation of the Constitution. But they demand that from now henceforth, if another Constitution will be rolled out, that their charter must be there. At least 50% of the resource must come back to them so that they can use it to build, their communities and take care of some of the negative effects of the exploration of these so-called natural resources. Look at the North. Who is talking about gold in Nigeria? It's even considered as little or no natural resources. No one is talking about it. When they started talking about it, President Muhammadu Buhari started talking about it, what were we seeing? We saw all manner of things happening. For example, so-called insurgents, Boko Haram and the rest, they now started fighting tooth and nail and all of, for what? This whole thing is so political. We all know as Nigerians. And that is why we are hearing people talking about the best treatment for the people of the Niger Delta. But however, these things is coming from different angle. What's your position on it? Let's interact in our comment.